But before we get to that, I've got a little bit of maths for you this morning. Did you know that warmer weather, so these summer months, plus Christmas functions and the work Christmas party equals relationship breakup? Now, that might not be the case for every relationship across the GV, but it certainly is a trend that experts are seeing right across the country, actually. And to talk us through it a little bit more, I'm joined by dating expert Mark Rosenfeld from RedHotPie. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me, Jess.
No, Mark, it's an absolute pleasure. I like to do this with all my expert guests, though. Just run me through your credentials. What qualifies you as our dating coach this morning?
Sure. I have a very interesting background, Jess. So my background, I came from a place of total social anxiety. I couldn't put myself out there. I couldn't basically talk to people at all, let alone women myself. And over a 10-year period, I went through some amazing things and amazing experiences. And basically, long story short, I put myself out there for a long, long time and then started coaching men about 8 years ago. And then took the leap of all things into stripping. And so I wanted to get to the other end of the confidence spectrum. So I said, well, what's the thing that scares me the most? This is what I'm going to do. And I was so fortunate to have a beautiful girlfriend at the time who basically meant that I could get out there and do this job for 5, 6, 7 years and talk to women, thousands of women, tens of thousands over this period about something that I was so passionate about, which was dating and relationships. So, I've studied a lot of psychology myself, but to be honest with you, the real education came from this school of hard knocks, of hearing the stories and seeing these patterns over and over again.
So, Mark, you were a stripper and in a long-term relationship. That is not something you see or hear about every day.
Yeah, it's not super common in that industry. It's a bit unusual.
Well, I mean, okay, you check out for me. You've made it through the that world, and you've come out of it. And as you said, the real people you would have spoken to, the patterns that you would have picked up on, and the really intimate details I'm sure some of your clients and friends would have shared with you, puts you in good stead to kind of talk about this field. But what I really want to drill down on is this new research that claims warmer weather, coupled with this time of year with the Christmas parties, the family functions, the work Christmas parties, is leading to relationship breakdowns. Now, I would have thought those things, get couples out and about and doing stuff together and strengthen relationships, but the opposite seems to be true.
Yeah, you would think this time of year sort of brings people together, wouldn't you? That there was this research done by RedHotPie, and they basically found a trend that we've suspected or seen essentially for a longer time in America, which is you see these three sort of spikes in breakups, which is summer, warmer weather, which is Christmas, and which is holiday season. And in Australia, we kind of have this perfect storm. And this is the time of year where people go, well, maybe if I'm with the wrong person, I want to start a new year on a fresh slate, or I don't want to, form these extra Christmas memories.
I don't want to buy them a present.
Yeah. It's like, I don't have money for this. What am I doing here? It's that time of year where things kind of come to a head. And if you are in the wrong relationship, or maybe it was right for you, but it's not so right now, it's that time where people go, oh, I maybe actually do just want to, have some fun.
I get it. I mean, it's so, in the winter months, isn't it the best? You hang out at home, you're on the couch, you're almost willing to settle a bit more, aren't you? But with summer, you're getting your tan on, the shorts get a little bit shorter and everyone wants to get out and about. And it's kind of like, who's this dead weight I've been hanging on to over June, July? Let's get out there.
It's like that, can't it? Yeah. And people do, they want to get out there, and at this time of year that can happen a lot. So there's this kind of, for some relationships that maybe aren't there for the right reasons, we go, oh, actually I do just want to have some fun over summer. Maybe I just want to, meet someone else. Maybe I do just want to go to a website like an app like RedHotPie or something and just hook up. But I just want to not have this time with the wrong person. I want to sort out my life going into the new year.
Yeah, and Mark, there is this kind of stereotype that men are less into monogamy than women, but this research that RedHotPie did as well, that kind of proved that wrong. The numbers were quite similar, weren't they?
Yeah, it's fascinating, and it's something that I've suspected for a long time with brain biochemistry. There is, as you say, there's this idea that, well, men want to spread their seed, men just want to get it out there type thing, and women always want to settle down. And when you look at evolutionary psychology in terms of things like cheating, you actually realize that, both monogamy and non-monogamy had their place in essentially raising the best genes through the next generation. And now, fortunately, we're able to see women who can talk about loving sex and who can be liberated with sex. And we're seeing that come through now with just as many women as men going, no, you know what? At this time, I do want to have some fun. Monogamy's not for everyone.
Yeah.
We get bored in relationships too, essentially.
Thank you, Samantha from Sex and the City, hey?
Yeah, right? It's such a beautiful movement, though. It's amazing to see.
Yeah, it is really quite liberating, but I guess the something to maybe be on the lookout for. If you are in a relationship, things are starting to get shaky, you can blame Mother Nature.
I'm a big one for personal responsibility in all my coaching.
Good.
So
Don't deflect.
I think, let's not deflect. Communication is obviously massive, and that's where, having these tough conversations where you can go, hey, actually, this isn't 100% right. Like, let's talk about this, and maybe we do something exciting. Maybe we get that passion back in. We do some outdoor sex, or we do some dress ups, or let's fix this or end it. Let's not push it under the rug. Let's talk about this and do it.
I absolutely love that advice. If you are looking to spice up your life, you can download RedHotPie from the App Store now. But that was dating coach Mark Rosenfeld. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jess. It was a pleasure to be on here.
You're waking up with Jess on the GV's Hit 96.9.